Good morning, class. We are looking at the Canvas homepage for the course. My name is Dr. Araipu. I sent you several emails regarding the course to explore the Canvas. So we are going to do it today. I have set it up in the following manner that we start with numbers. Number one, there is a welcoming message. It was a 1 or 2 minute long clip welcoming you to the course. I'm very happy to have you here. Numbers 2, 3, 4, and so on. So number 2, class philosophy. Okay, it's slow, but finally it got there. So let's look at class philosophy quickly.
Class philosophy. This class is a community and therefore, we all have the same objective, to learn. Online students often feel isolated, but it is vitally important to know you are not in this alone. I would like each of you to approach our online class with a great attitude and a willingness to help one another. Many problems and questions can be resolved by asking a fellow student. I am always here to help you, but I truly believe your experience will be more fruitful if you communicate with your fellow students as well. Let us work together to make this a memorable semester for each and every one of us. A. Course objectives. The primary objectives of our Survey of Calculus 1 course include the foundational principles of calculus, an integral branch of mathematics that delves into comprehending rates of change and accumulation. The principal aim of this course is to familiarize students with the fundamental concepts and techniques of calculus, which form the bedrock for grasping alterations and deviations in diverse fields. The course will be structured around several key focal points, encompassing the exploration of fundamental concepts of analytic geometry, the study of limits and continuity, and the exploration of differentiation and integration pertaining to algebraic and trigonometric functions. Additionally, the course will engage with real-life applications from the realm of life sciences, showcasing various interpretations of derivatives and integrals. These applications will span topics such as maximum-minimum problems and optimization, linearization and difference equations, sequences, sequential limits, as well as antiderivatives and integrations. Instructors' contact information. Email me via Canvas or use the email address era.eraeipor@csulb.edu, and I reply from Monday to Friday within 24 hours.
So that was the class philosophy. Number 3 is the announcements. We put this in student mode. There were announcements that were all sent to you, recorded orientation, and old one. The new one will be updated here. Welcome on orientation, welcome to your virtual course. There were a couple of emails sent to you regarding the course, and I hope you've had a chance to explore it. One thing again I want to mention, the Zoom meeting clearly indicates that you have to click on the Zoom meeting on the left, okay, because a couple of students did not. Whereas at the bottom here, clearly it says office hours. Office hours is for every student of every class, but this Zoom meeting is yours and yours only. All right, number 4, we want to follow these steps, the syllabus, modules, homework, quiz, discussion forum, all of the above. So let's look at them. Starting with the syllabus, you can click on this one or the syllabus on the left navigation bar, makes no difference. As we look at it, I highly recommend you take a couple of minutes to Look at all of them. In short, it gives you the information about the course, the Zoom meeting, and then I put different topics here because nowadays syllabi are getting much larger than the old days. Then we have the course description, course goals, the text, and I will show you this one when we go to my OpenMath or MOM, but we have it here also. The digital platform we use is My OpenMath. I'm going to refer to it as MOM from now on for short. Past calendar. We'll have an exam every few weeks. So this has the date of the first exam and then the second one and so forth. Comprehensive final exam, although it's comprehensive, but it's based on your previous exam. It's fairly simple. Calculators, you may use a graphing calculator for the course. However, during the exam, it may not be allowed. Tech support for My OpenMath, for Canvas, for Campus, all of them are here. And of course, the Math Tutorial Center is available for free for the students. Grading policy. There are 4 exams. Each one is 100 points, so 400 points. Homework is 200 points. It is important to understand you have multiple attempts. In other words, as long as it's done before the due date, you get 4 credit for the homework. Quiz, 100 points. Final is 300, and it's a point system. They add up to 1,000 points. And so 1,000 points. 90%, that means 900 and above is an A. 80%, that means 800 to 899 is a B. So on and so forth. Makeup policy. When the time comes to take an exam, you have actually, I've set it up so all the exams are taken on Saturdays. All the exams are taken on Saturdays. So there is no reason for a makeup policy. And by the way, I send an email with the information, including the password, on Monday of that week. So you have a whole week to take it. So that you take care of the business. Course late work policy, there's a 10% penalty for that. I highly recommend you don't use that. We have something called the late pass. On a normal basis, students who do that, they get behind and it's hard to catch up. CSULB 36, this is really interesting. And you can look it up if you want online. It basically says we need to spend 3 hours per unit per week. So this is a 3-unit course. We need to spend 9 hours per week to be successful in this course. Then there are other important information such as dropping policy and so on. Basically, it's summary to success. You really want to read your notes, study the corresponding sections, studying the lecture PowerPoints, creating a formula sheet, index cards, perhaps, doing the examples, the homework, and the quiz. Again, this is how you get to the office hours, which is also posted at the bottom of the homepage of Canvas. And more information about the semester. This one is the Excel calendar, which tells us roughly what we will cover. So first and foremost, a couple of assignments are due immediately. One of them is Introduction to MOM, My OpenMath. One of them is Algebra Review. But other than that, for example, quiz 1 is due here and so forth. You can see it in My OpenMath. I will show you. And this column tells you what we need to cover. Going back to the homepage of Canvas. The next one is modules and what we can find under the modules. Since it covers a lot of stuff, I want to go to the discussion forum first because it doesn't cover a lot. Whether you click on it here or on the left navigation bar makes no difference. I basically have student bios and I put mine as an example. It'll be nice if you put yours, and if anybody wants to comment, please, only positive with utmost respect for one another. And then the next one is the frequently asked questions. In the past, students had questions. I put them into a file and I have it up here. Please read this. It takes just a couple of minutes of your time before you send the question. Okay. And if there's a new question, I will add it to this one. For example, how do I use the math edit? So that's the discussion. I'm going to go back to the home page, and modules is the main one. Again, whether you click on it here or here makes no difference. What do we find underneath? In short, we have the access to my open math here. We have the recorded lectures and exam reviews. I will come back to those two in a moment. Now, exam 1 module, exam 2 module, exam 3, exam 4, and then final exam review. What I want you to pay attention to, these modules are very similar. I start a module with some sort of exam review. And what I give you is a bunch of questions. I highly recommend you take a few minutes to read them, just to have an idea of what the exam will cover. Then as you go through, excuse me, your PowerPoints on a daily basis, do 1 or 2 of them. So what do you find? Again, we are looking at just module 1. The rest of them repeat. These are the PowerPoints you need, everybody. So I have it in the form of a PDF file, and I have it in the form of a PowerPoint. Either way is up to you. What I want you to understand is this. Everything that contains definition and proof is given to you. You don't have to write anything while you're in class. So what do you have to write? When we get to examples, I give you the questions, but the solutions, we cover it in class. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. The purpose of that is to make it easier for you. You don't have to write a lot. So definitions, proofs, everything is given to you. Okay, see, here's the definitions. You don't have to write any of it. The moment we hit the examples, you don't see the solution. That's what we need to do. So again, what do we find under module 1? First, we find the exam review. Then we find the PowerPoints. They have everything we need with the exception of solution to the examples. In class, we go over that. What is this one? Now, this is the exam 1 review. We will have a review before each exam, and I have the PowerPoint that contains everything from A to Z. It contains the questions as well as the solutions. So again, I want to recap that. Under exam 1 module, you have the exam review and the key. Over here, you have all the PowerPoints. It has everything except the solution to the examples. And then finally, the exam 1 review with details is here. Not only that, if you happen to miss anything, right here where it says recorded lectures, exam reviews, I have all the recordings. This is the recordings of the lectures, the latest one, and then the previous one, and the previous one, and this is instruction on taking exams. So if you click on that, for example, notice what you get. You get the recordings from the beginning, from the very first section we cover all the way to the last one, for example, for exam one. And notice exam one covers up to the end of section 3.1. And right after that, we have the exam review. Again, we had this under the exam one module, and this is the recordings of that. Now, this top one is where you find my open math. I'm going to come to that at the end. So as you go down, exam two repeats in the same manner. We have the review with the key, we have the PowerPoints, and then we have the exam review PowerPoints. Same thing for 3 and 4, the final exam review. At the end, I have some resources for a TI calculator. Anybody is interested as far as TI calculator commands are concerned. And here's the commands. And you may or may not need it. In fact, in the beginning, I also have a website that you may be able to download and emulate it. If it works, you will end up having a calculator like this. Again, it may or may not work. Okay, everybody. So that's what you find under the modules. Now, again, a quick recap. You find exam one module, everything that you need, and you see the recordings. And at the end, you see a resource for TI. So what is this at the very top here? Let me put this in student mode. If you click on that, it wants you to create an account for My Open Math. If you have an account already, you can use your username and password. If not, you create an account. Okay. So you know how to create an account. When you create an account, it will take you to My Open Math. And this is where you do all your work. So the very top one has a introductory assignment to My Open Math. The next one is algebra review. As you can see, they are due immediately, 8:28, 8:30. Then I put the exams at top because I didn't want anybody to miss that exams and quiz 1, 2, 3, and then exam 1. Don't miss those, okay? And you have 2 attempts for the quiz, unlimited amount of attempts for homework, 1 attempt for each exam. As we scroll down, we find this calendar. You can change the number of weeks. It gives you the homework that is due, quizzes that are due. I want you to pay attention to this set of quizzes. Due before exam 1. This is the one that you should do on a daily basis. When I finish a section, I expect you to do the homework. If you wait until that day, you will not be able to do well in the course. Now, the modules that you see here, module 1, 2, 3, 4, are just the same modules that you see in Canvas, except you do the homework here. But what is module 0? I want to quickly explain to you about module 0. As the name indicates, that contains resources, for example, the text. It has the text here. These are more like a reference text, okay? You don't have to purchase anything whatsoever, okay? So I have some text here for you. Well, it brings it up. I have this one. So it did bring this one up. Okay. Sequences and their notation is here. And this one. And the point being, if you view as online, it's easier. Okay. So the point being, you have access to your texts. You don't have to pay a penny. Then what do you see? Graphing calculators. These are graphing calculators online for free. How to use a late pass, how to check your grade book. After that, how if you click on the grade, you can review your work after the due date. Free online calculators, such as Desmos Scientific Calculator or Graphing Calculator, videos that help you see how it's done. What else? We also have chapter review. I do have some reviews for you. Again, they are not graded class. These are in case anybody wants to go back to pre-calculus to feel comfortable to move on. For example, review of functions, trigonometric functions, factoring, exponential and logarithmic functions. So again, what is module 0? As the name indicates, we have a lot of resources there. I highly recommend you look at them, decide if you want to use them or not. Now, again, modules 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to look at one of them. If you go to module 1, you see 1.6 and chapter 2. If you look at 1.6, it's covering 1.6 to 2.1. You see some notes. That's where you can find the information as far as the text is concerned. Then you have the video. So first you have the pages of text. Then you have the videos. I highly recommend you watch those videos. Normally they're just a few minutes. And then you do the homework. And the way it works, as long as it's done before its due date, you get full credit. Then you go to chapter 2, you have we did 1.6 and 2.1, they were together. So 2.2, same thing, you watch the videos, or if you watch the recordings of PowerPoints, if that's good enough for you, just go to the homework. But how do you do the homework? I want to go back to the top and show you how you do that. You basically click on the specific homework, in this case, Introduction to My Open Math. And you need to answer the question. The first one, you just enter the number, and the moment that you put your cursor in the box, it gives you math editor. So 90.8163, that's the first one. The next one says we want to round this to the nearest hundred, so 90.8. Next to it is 1. Now 1, because next to it is 6, goes up to 2. That's the concept of rounding. You want to divide this number by 0, you can't. It's undefined. So when you click on the box, it doesn't have undefined, but it does have DNE, does not exist. Now, if you say submit question, notice you see you get check mark for each one and you get full credit for this question. You're done with this question. What about the next one? 1/3 is 0.3 bar. Let's answer it wrong. 0.5 on purpose. If you submit the question, obviously it's wrong. So how do you do it? Well, if you get a similar question, it happened to give you the same question, 0. You put a bunch of decimals. And now you submit a question, you get full credit for it. So it doesn't matter if you make a mistake, you get a similar question, everybody, okay? And you continue or something comes up. If I click on done, notice it shows me the first couple of questions are correct. The rest of them are unattempted. So I have to either resume or exit. I can exit and come back anytime I want before the due date and finish the job. And that's the beauty of the homework here. Okay, so I'm going to exit. What I want to show you so this was a very basic. If we go look at this one, I want you to see that the questions here, many of them have written example or videos. That's what I wanted to show you. So when you do the homework, a lot of questions have help in the form of a video or written example, which really makes it nice and easy. So I'm going to go back to this. So I'm going to recap what we did. First and foremost, as far as the course is concerned, uh, we went over the philosophy, the announcements, the syllabus. Again, the Zoom meeting right here. This is how we get to the class. Discussion forum, we just have student bios and frequently asked questions under the modules. Here's exam one module, which contains the review, PowerPoints, exam review, PowerPoints, and this one has the recorded lectures as well as those exam reviews. The last one is some resources about TI. And the very first one, this is where you click on and start getting into My Open Math. When you get into My Open Math, at the very top, you see the first assignment, Introduction to My Open Math. Then you see Algebra Review. Then you see the exams and quizzes. You're not worried about them yet. You see the calendar. Module 0, spend a few minutes, discover and explore those. Those are helpful resources such as free online calculators. And then you get on with module 1, starting with 1.62.1, you do your homework. And as long as you do one of them, you get familiar as to what needs to be done. And this is it, everybody, as far as what you need to do to be successful. I wish you all best of luck and happy studying, everybody.